Good evening, Californians. It's Friday night, July 23rd, 2021, and we're back. Done with our 2-week hiatus and ready for the next 10 episodes of Red Star Report. Thanks to everyone for their patience, and just an FYI, this was according to plan, with Red Star Report creating and releasing these vlogcast videos for 10 weeks at a time. Then we take a couple of weeks off to create more content, add contributors hopefully, improve our techniques, and change things up so our Red Star Rebels don't get bored. So look for new releases and extra content to drop here on our YouTube channel, and if you like what you see and want to stay informed on what's going on in the real California independence movement, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I promise, it won't cost you a thing. Go give our Facebook page a like. Then feel free to share our videos, memes, and commentary as broadly as you please. No, seriously. I mean, really, I insist. Share this stuff everywhere. Before we get started, I'd also like to take a moment to let you know that while we were hiatusing, it's a word, Shankar and I were on the California Dream podcast with Darren Brown. And if you'd like to hear it, and who am I kidding? Of course you do. The link will be posted in the comments below. All kidding aside, though, Darren Brown is one of the most knowledgeable voices the California independence movement has, and I highly recommend you check out his podcast at CaliforniaDreamin'Simplecast.com. And we here at Red Star Report look forward to talking to Darren again real soon. So, can you believe it? Red Star Report is now 7 months old, and we have our first 10 vlogcasts done. Now that we have some idea what we're doing, we would like to start the next part of our fiendishly clever, well-known yet super secret plan for a real California independence media group. We would like to expand the conversation and add your voice to ours. We'd like to invite those who have something to say about California independence and or California values, activism, and the activist community to please PM us about becoming Red Star contributors. I mean, really, we didn't build this thing just to hear ourselves talk. This is Red Star Report, and it's time for more voices for the California nation. Tonight's topic: it's time for a hashtag new Cal exit. Some insist they started the California independence movement in 2014 or 2015. Others say they were involved years before that. One good friend of mine claims he coined the phrase California independence movement in 2018 and is none too happy that his term has been misappropriated by people who don't deserve to use it. That's the way it is. The truth is, nobody actually owns California independence movement. Even if some people demand to be recognized as the original, therefore the true and or only and or legitimate voice of California secession. The irony here being that those same people's credibility for coming up with anything original takes a serious hit, considering they lifted their entire organizational concept right down to the artwork and logos from the Scottish independence movement. And this shit just keeps going. The divisive in our movement say those who oppose their divisiveness are the ones being divisive, while the passive-aggressive members of the movement want everyone to just ignore the bullies, hoping they will go away. If only the passive can come up with a strong enough intellectual argument to transcend the realm of vulgar politics and create a free and independent California, I guess through the force of will alone. That's not how it works. And truly, the sad thing here is that as Californians recall rate for some kind of real change, while the U.S. has moved from the Trump nightmare into a Biden coma, We would think that California independence would be an easy sell compared to the obvious and ongoing American collapse. So far, the intellectual parts of the movement have written really good papers and created principles, statements, and that's fine if anyone can actually take the time to find them and then read them. The media groups in the movement, taking their cues from God knows where, have launched multiple ballot initiatives just so the usual suspects can get 30 seconds of TV time for filing them, while they ignore the permanent damage the movement takes as a whole when the initiatives inevitably fail. Those failures and political embarrassments kill financial efforts of the movement, making it impossible for California independence to ever be more than a political shoestring operation, and all this because the movement has exactly zero grassroots infrastructure to actually gather signatures, recruit the faithful, or spread the word. So, yeah, it's time for a hashtag NewCal exit. It's time for a movement to stop pinning its hopes on Hail Mary passes, political brass ring grabs, and foreign intervention, and actually get down to the work of building a new Cal exit, a grassroots base to take the message in front of our fellow Californians. As COVID lifts, we need the smart people to set up those tables again and talk to normal Californians instead of just piggybacking our efforts on other movements. We need to stop the endless policy debates and turn the focus to message delivery. Ask yourself, do we really need to keep internally arguing what amounts to our frequently asked questions section of brochures we don't actually currently have? Don't we already know those answers? Because that eternal discussion, coupled with repeated initiative failures, are some of the reasons California independence isn't taken more seriously. And that's crazy. With everything going on in the world, Californians are desperate for something solid. The joke here is we have that. Fact. An independent California would be better off than the state of California, no matter what. Because we all know the USA brings nothing to the table. Donor state California is the maker and America is the taker in this USA relationship. And so a California nation would have more money, less war, better trade, a cleaner environment, and better social justice. Mic drop. End of discussion. Do any of you disagree with this? It's time to recognize that California independence is our cause and not just a means to someone else's goal. And we need to distance this new Cal exit from those people with those often toxic agendas. Because California independence is the best solution in itself to much of the evils perpetuated by the United States. If we can be Californians first, and stop being distracted by America's dysfunctional political circus. So, yeah, it's time for a new Cal exit. Where do we begin? I know, when you open a can of worms like this, you need to at least have some ideas. And I'm open to suggestions. And Red Star Report is asking for contributors to come on and share their perspectives. But I would begin by asking the leadership of the various real California independence movement organizations to convene a new Cal Exit conference. With COVID restrictions lifting, I'd make it an in-person conference because it's been far too long and way too much drama since everyone last sat down together in Sacramento. Online conferences would be good too. Red Star Report could even volunteer to host. Also, I would suggest that after the summer activism season ends and this recall election is over, a moratorium be placed on further efforts to allow the various orgs to float ideas to build the infrastructure needed to support everyone's efforts. It's time California independence looked to the long game, building the party and organizational membership across the movement. That would be where I suggest the starting point come from, at least. You see, I believe in this movement. I believe it has a lot of really good people in it. And I saw a lot of good come out of the last conference hosted by our friends in the California National Party. I think to reestablish those ties without the toxicity, with a fresh focus, could jumpstart a new Cal exit movement that will be in it as long as it takes to see the dream of a free and independent California nation become real. So, what do you say, Red Star Rebels? That's tonight's voices for the California nation. We are Red Star Report. All right. It's actually good to be back. Missed you guys. Now let's go to Shankar Singham for Activism in Action. It's all you, Shankar.
Thank you, Hal. What's up, Californios? Another episode of the Red Star Report's Activism in Action. And this is the third week in July. Coming off a 2-week hiatus. Glad to be back. Hal, good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you back on top of it. So, what has been happening here? Oh, where to start? Let's start with the mask mandate, the thing that I was 100% wrong on since the last time I was on here. So yeah, I ripped off the mask, said, COVID, it's over. Guess what? No. That episode was also about the stupids who have seemed to have taken control by instilling a mask mandate back again here in Los Angeles County. So now, when I walk into a store, I have a mask in my pocket. You're required to wear one inside, but I don't, because I'm done with it. I have it in my pocket, and I won't wear it until somebody asks me to put on a mask, to which they will say, sir, you have to wear a mask while you're in here. And then I'll reply with, well, I wouldn't have to wear a mask if these assholes would just get vaccinated, in a loud enough tone and inflection so that the others in the vicinity also hear what I'm saying, to which their response and their reactions are either a smile and a nod or a look away of guilt. And we all know what that look of guilt signifies, at least, right? You assholes need to get vaccinated. I don't know what your issue is. In fact, I'm going to say a prayer right now so that you do get vaccinated. So let's all say a prayer. Dear Delta variant, good luck on your journeys culling the herd. Please cull away. Cull away. Amen. Praise Jesus on that. The people that seem to be getting the Delta variant are the ones that aren't vaccinated, apparently. So those of us who are vaccinated are perfectly fine. The reason why they're making us wear a mask is so we don't infect the non-vaccinated. That's just ridiculous. We have to hold their hands, these people, thanks to Donald Trump, thanks to the misinformation from Fox, thanks to the belittling of the importance of the disease. I mean, this is just right-wing Republican bullshit, QAnon bullshit, and there is a small percentage, I will say, of absolute distrust in the government. So you actually have groups of minorities usually that just don't trust shots given by the government due to past transgressions, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, that's got to suck that you're a health official for the government and you're giving out sage advice, but yet you have this group of people that just don't believe you because your institution fucked them over in the past. So that's their own fault. And that's actually a ways of if they were the only group that weren't getting vaccinated, I think we would be okay, but it's not. It's that group plus the group of stupids, which is all-encompassing in the United States and California. Unfortunately, there's a certain group of them here. So the Delta variant, go, buddy, go. what's been happening as far as activism here. So this last weekend, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz of the America First rally came to Southern California to get some money, because this is where the real money is. They all come here. They all talk shit on us, and then they come here. And we welcome them with open arms, like we welcomed the KKK in Anaheim a few years ago, and how we welcome, the Proud Boys here. Sorry. We welcome them. In fact, we welcome them in Newport Beach, and then we welcome them in Riverside, and then we welcome them in Anaheim, and they just didn't show up, and they ended up going to Huntington Beach, to the beach, and to which they had their supporters out there, a slew of them, and a heckler who managed to say pedophile twice with Matt Gaetz there. Matt Gaetz, if you remember, is the pedophile whose victims are actually coming out and to testify in court that he had sex with minors. So that's Matt Gaetz. That's the hero of the right wing, the conservatives. But they all think that's a lie. That's all a lie. The planet these people live on. So Marjorie Taylor Greene gets booted out of Newport Beach. Then the venue in Riverside, which is a conservative county, boots them out. And then they get booted out of some dumpy banquet hall in Anaheim. It literally is a dumpy banquet hall. I mean, maybe 100 people can fit in there, 200 max. Didn't want them either. So they protested the Riverside City Hall, to which I think a few hundred counter-protesters came and shut them down there, to which then they drove to the beach in Huntington and were belittled by hecklers there. So I think they've done and packed their bags and gone from California. And I just want to remind everybody that why is it only California that we treat assholes like that? I mean, you think Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz are going to get anything like that in any other state? That's a fundamental difference with us and the rest of the United States. We don't take that bullshit here. We're past that. They can take their discriminatory bullshit, right-wing asshat policies, opinions, and stick it where the sun don't shine. That does not fly here. And the residents of California came out in true spirit and showed them what's up. Now they can go back to Arizona and fundraise or wherever they're going to go, and they'll be greeted with open arms over there. But here, don't fucking come back. Don't come back. No, actually, come back. Come back. Finish you up a little bit there, Matt Gaetz. So that's Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Matt Gaetz and the America First rally, which was not a rally here in California, because that's how we do things here. That's what separates us from them. Today is also a great day, fellas. I just want to remind everybody here that today the first insurrectionist got sentenced by a judge to do 8 months in prison. So, finally, some semblance of justice, I guess, for the insurrection that took place January 6th. It still befuddles me how no one got shot. More people should have gotten, I think, would have gotten shot if they were a different skin color, race, ethnicity, anything but white. But they were all white, and they got a ticket and a promise to appear in front of the judge. Well, the judge was given an 18-month suggested time by all the prosecuting attorneys, to which this judge gave this gentleman, this first insurrectionist to be sentenced, I forget his name, like it's important, 8 months. So he got 8 months in prison, to which maybe he'll do 6 with good time, work time, and he'll be out in probably 5 with added time already. So he gets about 5-6 months in jail, in prison, or whatever he's going to go do. If it's less than a year, he's probably going to do county time. And, all the guards are going to be treating him like a rock star. In fact, all these insurrectionists who will be sentenced to probably around the same amount of time, 8 months or 10 months, instead of the 18 months, anything past 12 months, you'd go to a state institution. Anything less than 12 months, it's usual that they would stay in a county facility, and so the state wouldn't have to process them further into the institutionalize them further. So that's a rule of thumb. They could go to the state prison for the 5, 6, 7, 8 months, whatever they're sentenced to, but it's still, and if they do, they'll be guarded by their fans and fellow Trumpians, the state penitentiary guards, the prison guards union, the Trump's army. This is Trump's army. So you have, if you all remember, in Portland, there was a band of military, uninsigniated military individuals with riot gears, kidnapping Portland residents and threatening them. They had no visible markings or identification on them. They were Trump's army. And later we come to find out that was the prison guards union, and those were all prison guards. So all these insurrectionists, the 600 or whatever that they have arrested so far, will be doing time with their best buddies and talking about Trump the whole time, I'm sure. And they'll be sentenced, probably released early. So that's what they get, their little hand slap. But at least he did get some time. They just didn't get totally away with it. So mark your calendars as today was the first insurrectionist to get sentenced. Good. Wiping shit on the walls of Congress gets you 8 months. Some people think that might be worth it. That might be worth it. So there you go, Judge. Good job on that one. Trump. I told you he would not disappear. And he's not disappearing, folks. He's going to run again. He's running again 2024. It's the money train for him. He doesn't give a shit about the country. It's all about the money. And here's the most disgusting part. After he runs and he wins, he's going to win because the Democrats aren't doing shit. After he wins in 2024, guess who's going to rerun in 2028 in a seamless continuation of Trumpian policies and ethics? Don Trump Jr. Don Trump Jr. is poised himself and positioned himself perfectly to follow right in his father's footsteps as far as being a president of the United States. He's not going to waste time in Congress or anything like that. He's going to go straight for president, and he's going to win, folks. He's going to win because the left has nobody. The left have nobody. They've all sold out, Biden included. There's just nobody for the left. And the left can't come to realize in itself and come together as a unit to put up somebody, even of a different party or a different belief system. That's the United States. It's broken. So you're going to have another 4 years of Trump and then another 8 years of Don Trump Jr. And that's going to be great for the U.S. That's going to be great. Can't wait. Can't wait. Looking forward to Donald Trump Jr. running for president. Now, some people want to say Ivanka. There's no way Ivanka will be president of the United States. As much as the Trumpians hate to admit it, they'll never let Ivanka become president because her husband is Jewish. Now, they back Israel up, of course. That's what they say. Now, in all honesty, these evangelicals, these right-wing Christians, they don't like Jewish people. They don't care about them at all. The only reason why they back Israel up is because it's what it says in the Bible, that God will save his chosen people or something like that when Jesus comes back. But in actuality, they hate the Jews. They hate Jewish people. So they will never allow a Jewish person in the Oval Office. That's done. So Ivanka, no hopes of being president. Don Jr. is poised for it. So be ready for that. Don Jr., you heard it here first. Don Jr. running for president. Last bit, I just want to talk about everything I just talked about, basically. It's this crisis in democracy. I don't know how else to put these Congress, how they say one thing and do another. I'm talking about Democrats. Republicans at least say they're not going to do jack shit, and they don't do jack shit. But Democrats say they're going to do something and then sell it away. Our voting rights are being negotiated away right now. I mean, you have, a bunch of Planned Parenthoods and abortion clinics shut down everywhere. I mean, as if it was the 1970s again. I mean, there's no term limits on these people in Congress, and they don't want to. They'll make the rule that they can stay in there forever, which they have. And there's no campaign finance reform, which means they can take all the money they want from all the lobbyists. That's perfectly fine. I mean, it's set up for them to do what the fuck they want without our consent. And there's nothing that anybody wants to do about it because they're so set in their ways about Democrat, Republican. It's so sad. It's a crisis in democracy. You have an insurrection that's taken place and is belittled and put down as nothing by the ruling class. It's the end, folks. It's really the end. California, I see pushing through, of course, all the way because we don't give a shit what the United States does. We do what we do here, regardless. All those things I mentioned, abortion clinics, that will never change here. That will always be. I'll always have a woman's right to choose in California. Same with gay marriage rights. Same with gay marriage and their rights. Transgender rights. BLM, founded here, proud of it. Police reform. All of it. We like immigrants. We want more immigrants coming here. That's what makes us the 5th largest economy in the world. Those things aren't debatable in California. We're past these topics of debate. We need to move on. The United States has been debating this for 300 years, the question of race. In fact, it's so bad now that if you're protesting racism, people think you're protesting America. So they get offended. Well, since they're looking at it like that, then yeah, we're protesting the racist United States. God damn it. It's exactly what the United States is. Fucking racist. Anyways, that's all I got for you. You guys have a awesome day and a wonderful tomorrow. Hal, back to you, bud.
Thank you, Shankar. Damn, sounded good tonight. Okay, time for talking points. Hit it. This is Talking Points. This week, the Newsom recall candidates list was released, and Red Star Report is happy to announce that California National Party's candidate Michael Loebs has made the list and will appear on the ballot, allowing Californians a chance to see a true California Independence Party actually exists and is an option. Way to represent California National Party. Side note, this is, of course, not Red Star Report telling you how to vote. Michael Loebs was kind enough, though, to be our first Red Star interview, and for that, we are grateful. Now, as another development of the recall ballot, and after an incredible amount of bullshit, one name is not on the list. Shocking. Want to guess whose? Here's a little hint. Roll the video. That's right. After scanning all those would-be and wannabe candidates into hours of debates with that Russian asshat, damn it. Sorry, I meant to say Russian asset. Including baiting an explosive confrontation with former Cal Exit supporter Nicholas Wildstar, Louis Marinelli has failed to make the California recall ballot and is actually listed as disqualified. According to a Twitter statement from Yes California, this failure to qualify is due to an inability of now ex-candidate Marinelli to acquire needed travel documents for his family to travel to California from their home in Mother Russia, thus preventing him from meeting ballot acceptance requirements. And there is no reason at this time to doubt the truth of this. Except maybe the thought that other candidates who also failed to meet ballot requirements are simply left off the ballot rather than being listed as actually disqualified. I would see clarification on this from Yes California, but what's the point? Clarification on Louis Marinelli from a compromised group that absolutely swore they would only have his Russian ass around as an advisor only a few months ago, but literally today are taking a vote on making him YesCal president again? I think I mentioned a credibility thing earlier. Talking point. Nobody owns the California independence movement. It is not a personal glory project for a privileged few or a means to placate some foreign power with an axe to grind against the United States. It's not a means to an end for anyone's personal political issues, and it's not a contest to see who's the smartest asshole in the fucking room. It's a movement. The primary goal should be the liberty and independence of California as a free nation, the well-being of its people as Californians, and the preservation of the values that we as Californians share. Anyone putting themselves or some secondary agenda ahead of this is not doing the movement any favors, regardless of how self-righteous they believe their goals may be. California independence is in itself a solution to much of what plagues Californians today for being Americans. And even where it's not, after independence is achieved, with the full weight of California behind it, many other issues become more manageable under a government that's not 2,500 miles away and 3 time zones out of time. Fortunately, we can't get there if toxic organizations continue unchecked to undermine everything by arrogantly putting themselves forward as the true representatives of the California independence movement. Fact. It's just California's well-publicized Russian ties, media failures, extremist alliances, and backstabbing history that have created a toxic political climate that can't be escaped or ignored, and is the dominant reason why Cal Exit is not taken more seriously as a movement. Seriously. If Yes California is not totally not dictators or anything, leadership actually cared about California independence, they would have realized this, folded Yes California, and found another hobby to destroy back in 2017. So where does that leave the rest of us in the real, actual, true California independence movement? Well, face it. Ignoring Yes California hasn't worked in 5 years, so there's no reason to think it will start now. My friends, my fellow Californios, and especially you Red Star Rebels, the saying goes, don't give the bully the playground. We're activists. We speak truth to power. So, try this little sucker punch to absolutely anyone who asks you the Russia question. And you know the one. Don't you guys get your money from Russia? How many times you heard it? How many times I heard it? Answer. Oh no, that's not us. You're thinking of that old Yes California group you probably saw on TV. Yes California is a Russian front organization. They try to use CalExit to hurt the United States and blame everything on the real grassroots independence movement. But the Russian government actually views a new California nation as a threat. You see, California is the fifth largest economy on Earth. It's over twice the size of Russia's, so a California nation would replace Russia as a G8 nation, become a game changer in the United Nations, and sign the Paris Accords limiting Russia's fossil fuel industry profits. So the Russians really don't want to support a new California economic power or an economic superpower, so they don't have any interest in supporting the real California independence movement. Boom. Distance. Redemption. Just like that, rebels. Enjoy your weekend. This is Talking Points. Again. And that's it for this week. Stay tuned, and by that, I mean like and subscribe to Red Star Report for more talking points. Like us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, and look for hashtag the new CalExit and hashtag Red Star Report on Instagram. Because as I always say, it's all about the algorithms. Have a great weekend. We are Red Star Report.